So, the wizard is finally real, and already they have a ton of spells. Let's cover the starting gear in the wizard's den and test the spells later in the station. The wizard's den serves as a safe area to test spells on. Most spells can be refunded here. You start with a blue crowbar that actually does 12 blunt damage. A teleport scroll to get into station with 4 uses. Beware, there is no turning back. An agent ID to copy accesses and give yourself funny jobs and names. To your immediate right, you have the pet creature and some cubes you can spray to get dummies for your spells. An assortment of different robes for you to wear, all with the same stats. The armor on the wizard robes is pretty bad, except for the explosive, but robes are necessary to cast certain spells. All of these robes share the same stats. To your left, there is a basic hard suit. The room where you spy on station has lanterns with antique power cells. The pondering orb basically lets you change to observer mode. You can do everything a ghost can except for ghost rolls for obvious reasons. Seems like the den has no secrets. No point anyways. They would get discovered immediately. Wizard gets his own stamp to fax the station, and that paper hat you see is actually part of a set. The robe for it has to be purchased. Along with several vendors, in this room we can find red and blue versions of the Magus armor. Magus armor is good, but it does not count as robes, and it's also not EVA. Most spells can be refunded here. Make sure to read the spell description to know if you can refund or not. Some spells require robes to cast. If you're not in robes, the game will let you know. Let's get into station, use the scroll, and select a destination. A cloud of smoke will cover your teleport. Let's start with offensive spells. First one is Banana Touch. Some spells let you get exclusive wizard robes to go in line with the theme. Banana Touch stuns the target and transforms them into a true clown. That means that person is clumsy and can't use most ranged weaponry. The clothes cannot be removed either. Next is Blind. Simple spell. The target will be blinded for a long period of time. Corpse Explosion gives a body and makes it explode. The epicenter of the blast is 100 blunt. Wizard is not affected by the explosion. Homing Toolbox also has a bundle with grey tighter clothes. The clothes are not magical at all. Once you activate the spell, it will lock in on the target near your cursor. The toolbox always hits and knocks people down. The spell does 30 blunt damage. Lightning Bolt actually ignores insulation and does 40 shock damage, nothing resists shock. So it's basically a AP spell. The Mime Malaise is just like Banana Touch. The target is turned into a true mime, invisible wall and all. Of course it comes with its own bundle. Scream for me simply drains the blood of the person. If they don't receive medical attention soon, they will die of blood loss. This is best used for hit and run tactics. Tesla Blast is tricky to use. It will start charging the spell once activated, but won't do anything if you reach maximum charge. The damage on this spell scales with how charged it is when you use it again during the do after. Almost no charge does little damage. Near maximum charge will hit several people and can do 70 plus damage. Very nice. Arcane Barrage is better used with both empty hands. The projectiles do 20 heat damage each. Using this with one hand will severely reduce the fire rate. Arcane Barrage cannot be reflected. Curse of the Barnyard will force a random animal mask into someone. All the dialogue will be changed for said animal onomatopoeia. Curse of the Clune is like the normal Banana Touch, except 10 times worse. Gameplay-wise, Clunes are slower and get stunned randomly. Exsanguinating Strike will enchant your melee weapon on hand. Next strike will do more damage and both heal and restore blood level. No, hitting yourself won't trigger it. Fireball is the classic wizard spell. The go-to if you don't know what to pick, it does the job. Lesser Summon Bees is perfect for creating chaos. The bees do a bit of toxic damage and don't despawn. They still most likely die in one hit. Lesser Summon Guns is the pierce damage alternative to Arcane Barrage. The rifles will be wielded automatically, so you will drop any item. On the other hand, bullets do 20 pierce a shot. Mutate will temporarily transform you into a Hulk that cannot be stunned. Can shoot 28 heat damage lasers with right click, and your punches will do 40 of the damage type your species has plus structural damage. Rod form annihilates any structure on its path and does massive damage to anyone hit by the rod. Smite will give anyone you use it on. To compensate, it has a long cooldown. Just like Toolbox, Spell Card has homing projectiles. Full hit does 20 heat damage. It seems to have some charges before it goes into cooldown, so make sure to use them all. Summon Simians will summon armed hostile monkeys and gorillas that attack people. They even pick up weapons and use them properly. The two currently available event spells cost nothing to use. Dimensional Shift will remove space damage, but you still need internals to breathe. For obvious reasons, this is a double-edged sword. Summon Ghost lets people see observers. Wizard has two summons at the moment. One is Contract of Apprenticeship. It is the equivalent of a reinforcement for Nukies. The spells each apprentice comes with are listed on the description. The magical lamp is basically a hollow parasite. You can also prey on it or turn it on. Remember that if you die, the Ifrit dies too. On equipment, the ever-full mug constantly refills with Omnazine you can drink to heal. It will slowly refill 5 units every few seconds. The papier-mâché robes allow you to summon several stickmen to attack people. The spell has almost no cooldown. But just like the bees, the stickmens die in one hit. And unlike the bees, they disappear after a while. Staff of Door Creation replaces any wall or airlock you hit with a door. Perfect for spacing the station. Staff of Healing can't be used on yourself, but it will completely heal anyone else and insta-kill the undead, like for example, skeletons. Staff of Slipping will shoot magical bananas that slip you on contact. Remember that Wizard does not have any form of no-slip yet. Wizard skates are like normal skates, but you don't take collision damage. Cryo Katana does cold damage, so its AP, pressing right-click, will perform a cool dash that slashes anybody in the way. The magical wand lets you cast 15 different spells. However, unlike prior staffs, this one does not self-charge and requires the spell Charge to continue casting. The spells are mostly copies of other spells. The Mastercrafted Armor set its A hard suit that functions as robes. Is like a blood red with better protection against explosions. The Scrying Orb, while on hand or pocket, will let you toggle FOV, lighting, and see ghost. Using it on hand will let you observe. The Spellblade lets you pick between 5 spells, cannot be changed once assigned. Lightning shocks people around. Spell itself has a cooldown just like others. Barrier protects you from damage upon activation. Space-time slashes several times. Blue space lets you teleport with right-click and works like Betrayal Knife. And fire ignites people around. Staff of Change morphs someone into random creatures or random creatures into someone. Staff of Chaos shoots random projectiles. It might be good or completely useless. From instant death to healing the guy actively shooting at you. Staff of Locker traps people in magical lockers. It has no limit and will trap anyone on its path. The Supermatter Halberd will let you buy the Oblivion Enforcer bundle that comes with a voice mask. The robes have the same stats as any other robes. The Supermatter Halberd only does good damage if wielded. To use its powers, you need to use left click. Wide swings do not trigger the stun. The High Frequency Blade works similar to the Halberd. Wide swinging only deals 5 damage a hit. Left click, however, does 15 slash at the same speed. People die in a matter of seconds. The damage is still normal slash though, unlike the Katana cold damage. Now let's cover utility spells. Blink, It's not good, at least on level 1. Charge we've seen before, recharges the item in hand. Instant Summon allows you to tag an item to recall it back to your hand the same way Ninja Katana works. If someone were to steal your staff or weapon, there would be no reason to worry about it, as now you can recall it back. It does have some cooldown, so try not to slip too much. Knock is simple, opens doors and lockers, it's not an EMAG, just opens the stuff. Soul Tap is a dangerous spell. It will reduce 20 maximum HP to reset the cooldown of all spells. By default, everyone has 200 HP, 100 until crit, and another 100 until dead. This means that if you use it 5 times, you will die on 100 damage. One more time would reduce it to 80 damage, and so on. Swap, as the name implies, can be used to exchange locations, but if you press Alt while using it, you can swap the location of 3 people. Ethereal Jaunt is just Ashen Passage. Mind Swap doesn't require robes, but it will knock both people down, and the spell is still chanted on use, making it very obvious for anyone nearby, more suited for more stealthy wizards. Teleport is just the scroll in spell form. Now for the final category, defensive spells. Disable technology is just EMP. Normal ballistic guns still work. Force Wall creates a 3-tile wall only you can traverse. However, the wall still blocks your spells, at least for now. Repulse pushes everything away and knocks people down. Cooldown is somewhat lengthy. Smoke makes a cloud of smoke that makes people cough and have a chance to drop items in hand if inhaled. The Traps lets you lay down hard to see runes that have random effects on people that step on them. Thrown Lightning works like the Lingbone Shards, a 2-hit stun that can be spammed, in this case, as much as you want. And it doesn't even require wizard robes to cast. Stop Time freezes entities on the area of effect for a few seconds, useful to both attack and defend. Magic Missile is basically the better and robe-only version of Thrown Lightning. On use, 3 homing projectiles will stun people nearby. Tuny Invocations is, well, if you know, you know. Makes you wear an unremovable eye patch that works like Wizard Hat. It turns every incantation into a wall of text, and even has specific text for certain spells. Also, heal 10 damage when you cast spells, with a 5-second delay. Bind Soul turns you into a lich. To be precise, a skeleton. Use it with an item on hand to set it as your phylactery. You have all the advantages of being a skeleton. And if you ever die, apart from dropping all you had, a green orb will move in the direction of your phylactery. If the crew makes no effort to destroy it, you can simply respawn again with almost no gear and recall your item to keep sowing chaos. If the phylactery is not on station grid or in space, it will reappear on a random tile the same way the nuke disc does. And that's everything for now. I was not expecting Wizard to have this much content on Merge. Kudos to all Goob contributors for your amazing work. Goob gets closer to Space Station 13 every day thanks to your work. See you in the next video.